Good afternoon, morning, evening or night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to jump straight to the question. I'm not going to make a stupid thing like I normally do at the start. I'm already doing it. I contradict myself because I'm doing exactly what I always do at the start, which is talk about nothing for a few seconds. Today's question comes in from Jacob obviously, McSpooky Man. 2 questions. 1. Better Quicksilver, the one from Avengers 2 or the one from X-Men Days of Future Past? Obviously X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm not going to bother justifying it because the main question I'll answer is 2. Do you like games with more action and such, or with more story-driven stuff and character armor? So I'll probably narrow that down in the title to favourite movie and game genres. Yeah, we'll just roll with that. I don't know. No, action or story. That's what I'll call it. Action or story in games and movies. That's a good one. I don't know. When you say action and such, do you mean? You could mean like the gameplay. I mean, there always has to be good gameplay, or else I'm going to be like, oh, okay. You know, I moaned about The Last of Us in my last video. Well, no, not my last video. I'm not sure what order I'll upload the ones I'm making right now. So, yeah. But anyway, The Last of Us obviously had story, but you know, there were things that happened. There was action in it and stuff, and the gameplay was fine. I mean, I enjoyed the game. I suppose, I enjoy a story. I very much enjoy a story in a game, or a well-told story at least. I actually got quite immersed in the Witcher 3 story in the end, even though I did also complain about that because I said it was paced badly, but I just happened to put the controller down at a bad time, I think, when I was playing the game, and then could never will myself to pick it back up again. But I finished it, actually. I finished it and started New Game Plus, so for any of you that give a shit, that happened. I did it. But then I also I like Destiny, I guess, in as much as the gameplay is good, but there's no story at all. Yeah, really. I mean, you can say the Taken King added some story, but it wasn't really a story. It was just sort of like events. Coherent events, though, that, you know, they did embellish upon a bit, unlike in vanilla Destiny and the DLC for the game, as in The Dark Below and House of Wolves. But I'd imagine most of the people who watch Jar Media are people that watch I Hate Everything as well, so you'll have seen by now, maybe, Alex's video on The Taken King. If you haven't, then I suggest you go and watch it, because it's probably good. I mean, I know what Alex's opinions on it and stuff, so I watched 7 minutes of it and was like, yeah, I know what Alex is going to say, whatever, I went off of it. But, you know, that's just me. Obviously for you, it's not so easy. I think I might be about to have my recording ruined by somebody coming into my room. I don't know, hopefully not. I digress. But then I also I'm a real big fan. I know GTA though. There you go. GTA 5 is a perfect example of a good story-driven and character stuff. And then there's action in it. The question. It's hard to answer with games because obviously stories in games tend to have some kind of action because they are a game and you want to play the game. So they have action based on what, you know, kind of game you're playing. Like in Halo, there is a story, but there is also action in cutscenes. I'm sure some of you will have seen the opening cinematic. In fact, when this video comes out, it might be release day for Halo 5, or it might be sometime after that, because I'm making a load of them right now, so I don't have to do anything during Halo 5 week. I think I said that in another video as well, but I'm saying it again. Okay, I do what I want. So yeah, I suppose I'll talk about films now though, because that's an easier one. Depends on the action really. I'm now quite bored of Avengers style action, because it just gets like, okay, yeah, seen this before. I don't hate the Avengers by any means. Still think that, you know, fine films. Yeah, still enjoy them. Yeah, but John Wick. Maybe even seen John Wick. If any of you have seen John Wick, then you'll know what I mean by the action was really fucking good in John Wick. That's kind of action I enjoy. And The Raid and The Raid 2. So there you go. That's more action that I like. But then there's obviously other films I like that are story driven and shit. I mean, I'm very open-minded to films. I don't mind what they are. I'm not going to be like, oh no, that looks like story. As long as the film is like, I'm kind of a dick about IMDb score, so it's like, if it's like a 6.5 or below, it's like, no, that's going to be shite and I can't be bothered to watch it. So, yeah, I just won't bother then, because I'll just think I could just watch a better film, or a film that most people say is better. So yeah, I just do that instead. I guess most of your action films fall into that banner of sort of being quite low rated because they're not very good, but obviously John Wick gets it right, and John Wick is good. But I like lots of films. Like, I finally watched Good Will Hunting the other day. I hadn't watched it yet. That's not action. Obviously there is like that small fight scene in it, but it's not an action film by any means. You know, I mean, I like lots of films, and I like lots of games. Just games tend to revolve around action, and films tend to have, you know, it's easier for a film to do it. It's easier for a film to have lots of story-driven stuff than it is a game, because ultimately a game has to have gameplay. It just has to. Those are the rules. So yeah, I think I'll end this video now. Leave any more suggestions for stuff. You can ask me questions that aren't just about games and film stuff. Ask me like weird questions. Like James always gets addressed things like hottest person on the planet and shit. I don't get any questions like that. And you know, if you do those, I can put a really clickbaity thumbnail on it and some clickbaity writing, and then, you know, there'll be fucking loads of people here, and that'll be great. Anyway, yeah, leave any more suggestions in the comments. Like and subscribe and all that shit if you enjoyed this. I'll see you. Bye. Bye.
Content with it. And I think certain long-running series, they start to kind of look cash grabby or kind of pointless. And when you really think about all the big series like your Halos, your Uncharted, do they really need to continue past the trilogy point? Does there need to be an Uncharted 4? Does there need to be a Halo 5? Do there need to be a Halo 4? Obviously, it's a financial decision, and if a game sold like 10 million copies, they're gonna make a sequel to it.